my beautiful little unicorns, and welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time that you're on my channel, my name is Vanessa and I, and I would like to welcome you into the fam. So you guys, today's pick a card reading is going to reveal everything that you need to hear right now. And it's going to be a very multifaceted reading with a lot going on. I mean, we got feathers, crystals, tarot and oracle cards, and even a bag of charms. So needless to say, I'm really looking forward to spending time with you in each of these 5 groups and looking at everything that you need to know. And if this is in fact the very first time that you're on my channel, make sure that you hit that subscribe button in order to never miss another video. So for today's groups, you're going to be able to pick a feather and crystal combination. However, the bird that this feather belongs to will be revealed at the beginning of your reading. So you get to see what it looks like and also what crystal it's paired up with, but we're still going to keep a little bit of the mystery alive. So the 5 groups that I have prepared for you today are as follows. Group number 1 is represented by the Fluorite. Group number 2 is represented by the Celestite. Group number 3 is represented by the Pyrite. Group number 4 is represented by the Tiger Eye, and group number 5 is represented by the Red Jasper. And of course, the timestamps to all 5 groups can be found down below in the description box, as well as pinned to the comment section. So pick whichever one of these 5 groups that you naturally and intuitively feel drawn towards, and then scroll down, click your timestamp, and then you will be fast forwarded to the relevant part of the video for you. So without further ado, let's get into it. I will be starting off with the first group, which corresponds to the Fluorite, and to all of my other fabulous groups, I will catch you at the click of your timestamp. Hello group number 1, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Fluorite group number 1, which is such a beautiful crystal. Let's do a quick close-up for you. So this is what your crystal looks like. It has like hints of green as well as purple in it. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I will just put it over here for you so you can take a look at it during your reading. You may have already had a feeling what bird that the feather that you chose connects to, but let's just confirm. We have the peacock group number 1. So in the peacock, I do want you to know here that one of the things that you need to hear is to embrace yourself and to not be afraid to be different. Okay, don't be afraid that somebody else is going to feel bad about themselves just because you are loving and embracing yourself, group number 1. If that is the case, then that is not your responsibility to make somebody else feel comfortable in their own skin. They need to figure that out themselves. I do also see here in the peacock that you're ready for a rebirth, you're ready for your next glow up, which maybe you've been pushing away out of fear, but nevertheless, group number 1, know that it's a time for you to move on to bigger, greater ventures in your life. Next up, we have the 6 of Swords. So in the 6 of Swords, I definitely see some smooth sailing coming for you, especially if you've been going through any type of mental anguish or difficulties. This could be any psychological issues or challenges that you're dealing with, or just overall anxiety that we all go through on a day-to-day basis. Things are getting better. I can see here in the 5 of Coins, however, that your spending habits have maybe been a little bit out of control, group number 1. So I'm not trying to call you out, but I am kind of trying to call you out. But this is coming from a very loving and caring place, group number 1. Keep that in mind, and do know that I am so understanding of this, and I'm the first one to admit that I have been guilty of this type of financial crime as well. Okay, spending more money than you really should and than you know would be good for a situation, but it's okay. You're just human. This is a safe space. This is simply the universe trying to say to you, like, hey, I see you. I see what you've been doing. Do know here that it's probably best for you to scale back a little bit. Next up, we have clearing your energy field. So we will make an exception, group number 1, if you need like some sage or a really cute divination tool to clear your energy field. You get a pass, because one thing that's important for you to do here is to have a ritual where you cleanse your space continuously and in a way that is consistent. So not just cleansing like once a year or just every other random month, but actually having this be like a practice. And sometimes all you need is a little crystal or a little smudge stick that gives you the motivation as well as the joy to want to do it, because you know that you get to interact with your divination tool. Next up, we have sound healing. So group number 1, in the sound healing card, I can see that the universe feels as though sound is something that's really just healing to your soul and your body right now. If you do have like sound bowls like these, make sure that you bust them out and use them. If there's any way that you can listen to like sound healing, then tune into that. I know that there are some videos online of people who play these sound bowls, these singing bowls, so you can like tune into that. So make sure that you're engaging with music, make sure that you're engaging with different sounds, as right now it has an exceptionally therapeutic healing to you, group number 1. Next up, we have the star reversed. So the star reversed is still a really positive card, group number 1. What you need to hear about the star reversed is the fact that an amazing time is coming up next. It's a little bit delayed. That's the implication that the star reversed has on the situation, but nevertheless, like, this favorable time is still coming towards you. There's nothing that anyone can do or say that is going to stop your happiness or stop this next achievement from being yours. Let's move a little further into your reading, shall we? We have the Queen of Cups as well as the Ten of Swords. So I can see here in the Ten of Swords that it's definitely a time to move out of your comfort zone. And like we spoke about here in the Peacock, this rebirth, you're ready for it. Now it's just really all about you feeling comfortable enough to move into the next phase of your life. I can see here in the Queen of Cups that a water sign such as a Scorpio, a Cancerian, or a Pisces can help you get over this very difficult and confusing time in your life, and can also give you really great sound advice on how to move forward confidently without feeling bad for also, you know, like leaving certain people behind, like we spoke about in the Peacock, not being afraid to shine and be yourself, even if that may trigger insecurities in somebody else. So we're going to use some charms, shall we? Okay. So we have the sea star, we have an anchor as well as a mermaid. So this is a very nautical theme that we have here for you, group number 1. I do want you to know here that connecting with the water and just overall with water signs, that's a great thing for you to be doing at this point in time, and also reconnecting with your emotions. Okay, so we have a few more charms over here, a little Zen charm that's hooked in with this dinosaur. So it's all about coming back to that ancient way of living, that way of life that maybe a lot of people have forgotten about, and that giving you that feeling of being centered again. That's one thing that I see here. And there's a little airplane here as well, which shows me that you may have to travel to a different place in order to ground yourself and feel inspired to do something else. We have the violin as well as this little branch leaf thing here. So I do see that music as well as music in nature, a very natural environment, natural sounds. So it seems as though a retreat that is close to the beach, close to the ocean, as well as a while away from where you are right now would be very therapeutic for you to go to. But maybe you are also just putting this on your goal board and it's something that you want to do very soon, as of course right now the current global situation does not necessarily allow for easy travel, but that doesn't mean that you can't pre-plan and put your savings towards a traveling plan. So maybe that's also why that financial aspect showed up in your reading, group number 1. So next up we have the tent, and the tent is all about a temporary situation. So group number 1, the situation that you're in right now is very temporary. You are still going to travel, you are still going to see some sort of beach, some sort of ocean, some space where you feel like you can really ground and be rooted in the earth again. Next up, we have the broken bridge. So any type of situation right now that is problematic or that is difficult for you to deal with, it's temporary. And I do want you to know here that these problems are problems that you can deal with close friends and family members. But do keep in mind here that not all family members will be helpful. So sometimes you just need to rely on friends, or just friends who you consider family, because you don't choose your family, but you do choose your friends, group number one. And that is one thing that the universe wants to remind you of and wants you to know is okay if you need to lean more on the people who you have chosen to be your family rather than the family that was assigned to you. So group number one, this is the reading that I received for you. I truly hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. I would just like to thank you for sharing this divine space with me, for connecting with me in this way, and I'll see you in another one of my videos. Hello, group number two, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Celestite, group number two. Let's do a quick close-up of your stone before we figure out what bird that you felt drawn towards. So this is the Celestite. It's absolutely gorgeous. So let's figure out who you were drawn to here. We have the bluebird. Now, group number two, the bluebird stands for you being gifted with blessings, happiness, as well as peace. So this is a really amazing way to start off your reading, group number two. This just shows that you're moving towards a place of inner peace, of happiness, and contentment. And that's most likely exactly what you needed to hear given your current situation. Next up, we have the starling. So in the starling, I can see that it's time for you now to get out into the world and to be authentic, to be unafraid that that may jeopardize your success, because I think we've all been in a situation where we felt like if we were just ourselves, like either in school or at a job or just overall in a specific situation with other people, where we thought revealing our true selves may jeopardize our success, or it may end up with us being like kicked out of the institution or kicked out of the community. Next, we have the woodpecker. So I do see here in the woodpecker that you're being called to use your discernment as well as your fortitude in order to achieve your goals and to find like a new rhythm, to find a new way of being around these people who maybe prior to this reading made you feel really nervous and like maybe you didn't belong. And this is especially true for any of us who are visually different. So if you look very different than most people around you, or you know, that's just something that you can't change. I mean, maybe your skin tone is different, your hair texture, maybe just the way that you act and your mannerisms are just so different that it's very clear that you don't belong to some people, or that's what some people will say. I do want you to know here that you can establish like your own space, and you are so valid and worthy of taking up space on this earth. You don't need somebody to give you permission. And I feel like so many of us are so afraid to take up any amount of space that we end up just like diminishing ourselves. So group number two, it's really important that you understand that you are worthy and that everything about you is so valid. Next up, we have a dance. So be comfortable in your body. Group number two, this is especially important if you're a little bit embarrassed about moving your body, whether you're a dancer or you absolutely cannot dance. Just being comfortable in your body is something that you can learn through moving it, through getting to know what it feels like when you do different types of movements in it, whether it be through dancing or just jumping around with joy. Allow yourself to get into that space, because it also does help shift negative vibration around and get things moving in a positive way. Next up, we have the gratitude list. So group number two, you are being called to write a gratitude list, especially if you've been putting off writing a gratitude list. Group number two, not trying to call you out, but kind of trying to call you out, but from a loving place, okay? You know that, group number 2. You know that my channel is a safe space. I would never want to call you out in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable, but let's look at this more as like a friendly reminder to write things down that you are grateful for and to make sure that that's a priority, because gratitude lists do really help refocus and recenter you around the things that are positive and going well in your life. So we had 3 cards that just popped right out of the pile. They clearly want to speak and they clearly are important for your reading. We have the club, the tower, as well as the handshake. So group number 2, one thing that I can see here in the club is that somebody is going to try to make you do something against your will. And I do see here in the handshake that this may be a stranger or just somebody that you don't know very well. That's one thing that I see in the club in connection to the handshake. And here with the tower in the middle of this situation, I see that you have built a solid foundation. Like, you know who you are, you know where you want to go. So think of a scenario in work or at your school, whatever it is that you do full time, and there's somebody who wants you to do something that is totally not in alignment with your morals, your values, your standards, and they're kind of like pushing you to do it. They're kind of urging you to do this thing that makes you feel inherently uncomfortable. Group number 2, don't do it. It's not a good situation. It's not a situation you want to be a part of or you want to have on your conscience, okay? Don't do that to yourself just to satisfy somebody else. A lot of people are really insatiable, especially people who are externalizers and will always blame everything on an external source or on another person. If you are an internalizer and you always feel like answers come from within and you always ask yourself what you can do or how you can change in order to make an externalizer happy, then you are risking your mental health and sanity, because a lot of externalizers don't know when to stop. They don't know when it's enough and when they've pushed someone past their limit, nor do a lot of externalizers care, so be wary of that. Next we have the 2 of Cups. So on a way more light note, on a lighter note, group number 2, in the 2 of Cups, I do see here romantic love that is ready, prepared, just waiting around the corner to be a part of your life, and is just overall going to make you feel a lot better about this situation and a lot more supported. Then we have the Chariot reversed. So instead of just kind of like going with what this person is trying to force you to do or talk you into doing, I can definitely see here in the Chariot in conjunction to the 2 of Cups that just talking to a loved one or even a romantic interest about what's going on in your life is going to inspire you to stand up for yourself, be strong, and to not be pressured into doing something that makes you feel uncomfortable. I can see in the 6 of Diamonds that this person really just kind of like wants you to give them whatever it is that suits them, whatever it is that they want, and they're just in complete disregard to your needs, and they don't understand that in order for you to be able to give, you already need to be in a place of bounty and abundance, right? If you don't have anything to give, like, what are you supposed to do, group number 2? And it's important that you don't give to people who don't appreciate and don't value you the way that they should, and who feel like you're just like a bottomless pit of ability to give, okay? A lot of people are bottomless pits when it comes to taking, and they feel like you are just like them. They feel like your amount of energy and tolerance is infinite, and it's important for you to educate those people that it is in fact not. So yeah, let's add some charms into your reading, group number 2. Okay, so we have a cat, we have a dragonfly, as well as a fish. So we have quite a few different animals. Let's start off with the dragonfly. So with the dragonfly and the woodpecker, I can definitely see here that it's important for you to establish a hierarchy, if you will, and that is not necessarily putting yourself above another human being, but reminding another human being that you have claws too, that you have a side that they shouldn't cross either, and that you're not just going to take everything, or you may just just turn them into a dragonfly, which a woodpecker could easily eat, if you know what I mean. Next up, in the starling in conjunction to this fish that we had pop up for you, I can definitely see here that reconnecting to yourself may make you very emotional. It may be something that channels tears within you. It may be something that makes you feel a little bit uneasy. So I just added one more charm to the cat. So in the cat, we have a lot of independence. We have you truly knowing who you are, and that being an important part of any romantic relationship that you're in. But I do see here in the starfish that regardless of really how independent that you are, it is important for you to pay close attention to your partner at times and to make them sometimes feel like they're the center of attention as well. Because group number 2, for you in particular, your partners can go through times of feeling unimportant or feeling a little bit like they're in your shadow. So it's very important that you hype them up and remind them of how much that they really mean to you. And the same goes for someone who's just coming into your life as a romantic interest. If you are single, make it very clear that while you have your own opinion, your own presence, at the same time, that doesn't mean that you wouldn't put somebody else's needs first in a relationship when you can tell that it's been about you and now it's time to switch things up and make sure that things remain in balance. So group number 2, this is the reading that I received for you. I truly hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. Leave a little cat emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know that this is the group that you ended up choosing. Thank you so much for sharing this divine space with me today, and I'll catch you in another one of my readings. Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Pyrite group number 3. Let's do a quick close-up of your gorgeous stone. This is what it looks like. The Pyrite is also known as the Fool's Gold, and I feel like it's very easy to see why. It looks like a little gold nugget now, doesn't it, group number 3? Let's move into your reading to figure out exactly what you need to hear right now. So you were drawn to the Osprey. So I do want you to know here in the Osprey that your success is now at hand, group number 3, and that's something that you are meant to know. And also that you have to allow abundance to follow you, allow material prosperity to follow you and chase you. That is one thing that I see in the Osprey in conjunction to the Pyrite. The Pyrite is definitely a stone of abundance, and in conjunction to the feather that you chose, it is important for you to keep in mind here that if you're doing what is in alignment with who you are as a person, your values, your morals, then in the end, you will be able to find all the success that you need and have always wanted. Probably more success than you ever even dreamed of, than you ever even thought possible. But it's important that you do everything from a place of passion, from a place of loving what you do, and allow the money to chase you and the success to come towards you. So first and foremost, we have the Ace of Coins reversed. So in the Ace of Coins reversed, group number 3, I definitely see a reflection of what we just spoke about, and that if you're thinking of starting a new business idea, it's important for you to first tie up any loose ends that may be present in your current life, in your current career, before moving on. That is one thing that I see in the Ace of Coins. Next, we have the Ten of Swords. So in the Ten of Swords, keep your ideas to yourself, group number 3, because there may be some people around you who will not be as happy for you as you wish that they were, or who are going to badmouth your ideas and your aspirations. So whenever that is the case, it's always best to just keep your mouth shut. Don't say too much until you've already done what you wanted to do, and then it doesn't matter what anybody says. But when you're in the beginning stages of, for example, wanting to start your own company, your own business, or venturing into something else, hearing negative words or words that aren't encouraging, that can really drag you down. That can bring your entire mood down. That can bring all of your vibes down to a place that you don't need them at, you don't want them to be at when you need support, when you need love, when you need people who are there for you. So that's why it's best to not even leave that up to chance and not even allow for that situation to occur. Next we have sing. So group number 3, if you love to sing, just like me, then singing is definitely something that you are going to happily be incorporating into your day-to-day life. But I do see here that one thing that you need to hear, group number 3, is to use your voice in a very harmonious and beautiful way. And you don't have to be the best singer to just be able to warm up your vocal cords, hear them, and feel like, wow, my voice is actually beautiful. My voice is actually a gift. It's actually something that I'm so blessed and fortunate to have. This is especially true if you work with recordings of yourself or you hear yourself back for whatever reason. You know, maybe you're a teacher and you're doing some online trainings, or you're often like on the phone discussing things, and sometimes you can hear an echo of yourself or a recording of yourself and you just want to cringe. You just think to yourself, you sound awful. Group number 3, appreciate that voice of yours, because there are people who wish that they had that. Next up, we have alone time. Group number 3, I cannot emphasize this enough, but you need to step away from other people's energy for a little bit. I feel like you're kind of like a sponge, group number 3. You're just taking in everything right now. You are very susceptible as well as sensitive to other people's vibrations and energies. And people like you, we need to protect you at all costs, but you also need to protect yourself. So that's why it's important for you to steer clear of any type of negative entities or energies within your life. Next up, we have the High Priestess reversed. So this is especially true if this is like in a religious or spiritual context that is toxic. We all know that person who has their mindset, their belief system, whether it's religious or not, and they want to push it onto you, and they want to make you feel as though believing anything else isn't allowed. So group number 3, that's where it's so important for you to stand your ground and to not get suckered into that, because what's essential is that you're happy with your choice and that you feel confident in who you are and your spiritual decisions or religious decisions. And as you know, my channel is all inclusive, so any opinion that you have, I want you to know that this is valid, and that anyone who judges you for it and makes you feel bad in something that you like or something that gives you strength, don't look at the thing that gives you strength negatively. Look at the person who's trying to take you away from that, or take that away from you. A better way to say it is take that away from you. Look at that person who's trying to take that away from you in the negative light, if you're going to see anything negatively. Next up, we have the Lemurian quartz. Now, group number 3, in the Lemurian quartz, you are being called to be really patient with yourself, as well as any difficult situation that you may be going through in your career right now. I can see in the black tourmaline, again, the sign that you need to protect your energy, because right now, group number 3, for you, it's not about being proactive and getting things done. It's really about defending what's yours, defending your success, defending your territory if you need to, and making sure that you're setting clear boundaries, because sometimes those need to be reinforced, and sometimes you just need to continuously state that you have boundaries and that those need to be respected. Next up, we have the key. So I can see in the key, group number 3, that one thing that you must hear is that yes, success is guaranteed, and any issues that you have right now, there is going to be a successful outcome in your life. This is not going to be a path that you're going to take in vain. Group number 3, I want you to know that success is something that's basically assured as a next step, as a solution to your problems. I do see here in the box that alongside the success that you're facing, you will receive a gift. So I do want to use the charms to help figure out what this gift is, because I mean, who doesn't want to know what kind of gift is coming towards them? So Okay. So we have the sea star, we have a little teddy bear, and another sea star. Okay, so this is really interesting, group number 3. I can see here in the teddy bear that there is definitely a gift that's coming towards you that is going to make you feel like all warm and fuzzy inside. And I do see here in the sea star that you're going to feel as though you are the center of attention. So think, for example, a framed photo. Think something that sparks a memory. It could also be like a family heirloom that's being passed down to you. And then we also have the sun. So this gift is going to make you feel full of so much joy, pride, and it's going to make you feel truly special, truly like it was meant to be, and like so much thought went into you being the recipient of this gift. Like this person really meant well by giving you this beautiful, gorgeous gift that isn't necessarily one of, say, crazy value, but a lot of like emotional value. So not necessarily monetarily, it could be high monetarily, but what really strikes me here in your reading is how much it means to you emotionally. This gift that's coming into your life is definitely something that you should be looking forward to, group number 3. Now, group number 3, this is the reading that I received for you, and I really hope that you enjoyed it and found it insightful. Thank you so much for sharing this divine space and time with me. Leave a sun emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know that this is the group that you ended up choosing. I'm sending you so much love, and I'll catch you in another one of my readings. Hello, group number 4, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Tiger Eye Crystal, group number 4. Let's do a quick close-up before we figure out what your feather stands for and what bird it belongs to. So this is the Tiger Eye. This is a really, really beautiful crystal. It's really protective, and it also connects you to the core of your being. So let's move into your reading, shall we? So we have the canary, group number 4. The canary is one of my personal faves. This is a bird that is small, but so powerful and so strong. So don't be fooled by the size of the canary. This is a small bird that has a lot to say. So maybe that's just something that you really resonate with, group number 4. But I do want you to know that at the core, the canary is all about self-expression, and it's all about finding your inner voice and being unafraid to give other people a piece of your mind. Next up, we have the 9 of Swords. So I can see here in the 9 of Swords, group number 4, in conjunction to the canary spirit, I can definitely see that you're being urged to speak up, speak your mind, especially if someone has done you wrong or continuously takes your kindness as a weakness or takes you for granted. I can see here in the Page of Coins that that is the only way that you will be able to step it up financially as well as in your professional life. You have to confront bullies, and you have to just basically tell them to F off, group number 4. There's no other way to put it, and to let them know that you are a human being with feelings and needs, and you're not going to tolerate any type of mistreatment or them putting you in a difficult position just because they have a hold on you financially. That is one thing that I see in the Page of Coins in conjunction to the canary as well as the 9 of Swords. Next, we have the 8 of Coins. So in the 8 of Coins, don't worry about your job security or what's going to happen there. I can see in the 8 of Coins that you are a highly talented person, group number 4, and you will always find the way to work things out. That is one thing that just goes without a doubt, goes without say, and you've put a lot of work and time and effort into creating what people would maybe say is natural talent, but you know how much work went into it. Next up, we have the 7 of Wands. So in the 7 of Wands, I can definitely see a victorious time that comes before you when you stand up for yourself, group number 4. So instead of being afraid of, just kind kind of ruffling people's feathers or making people feel uncomfortable. Do know here in the Seven of Wands that you will actually be this person that has this newfound respect from others, and that others will think like, wow, they're really strong for standing up for themselves, and they're actually going to end up looking up to you. I do see here in the King of Wands that this is going to put you into a position of authority, into a position where you become the expert, group number 4. So have you ever been in a situation where when there's a tricky question, all eyes go on to like one person? Maybe you've just always been that person in your family because you're just like the problem solver of your family. I do want you to know that professionally speaking, that's something that's coming for you. Of course, this is in a way a bit of an ego stroke, but at the same time, it may also end up being a lot of pressure for you. So make sure that you always have enough of your work-life balance in a way that feels like things are under control. Next up, we have connecting with fire. So group number 4, connecting with fire is something that you can literally do. There are lots of different cool rituals, like burning bowl rituals, that you can engage in, and that is an amazing way to connect with fire. But furthermore, what you can also do is just connect with your passionate side, with the side of you that just feels kind of in a way out of control, but in a good way, if you know what I mean. So if you've ever like done something that just made you feel so elated and so excited to be a part of, you know what I mean with that like inner fire and out of control in a good way. Next, we have connecting with your ancestors. So one thing that you need to hear is that your ancestors wish that you would connect more with them, or maybe in a way that you haven't been able to connect with them before. So this could be by, for example, reading about your heritage and what your ancestors had been through, because sometimes stories from people, you know, grandmas, dads, moms, they can be a little bit, how do I say this in a respectful manner? They can be a little bit, should we just say highly edited? They can be kind of a stretch. Let's just say sometimes those stories are a stretch. So sometimes it's just great to figure out more facts about your ancestors rather than go with, you know, stories that may have been passed down. Or, you know, if you feel as though there aren't really any stories that have been passed down that you resonate with, look for your own information on your own terms. Next up, we have the Celestite as well as the Iolite. So in the Iolite, I do see here that shifting your money mindset is something that's coming naturally with you having more authority in your workplace. So you're no longer going to be thinking necessarily just like a one-man show or like an employee, especially if you're moving from being an employee to like a manager, CEO, you know, whatever your journey may be. Either way, you're going to have this big picture thinking and see money from a different place. But I do see in the Celestite that that's actually kind of going to be very soothing for you, because it's so much less stressful when you can see the big picture of money rather than when you need to stress out about all of the little things and all of the bills that still need to be paid. So having more financial abundance is going to be like a really amazing change for you. I can see here in the ant that with a lot of this hard work comes a lot of achievement and success, but you would never be able to do it without a team of other people, without the support of others. So make sure that when you're giving your thank you speech that you write down a list of all the people so you don't forget anyone. Next up, we have the weeping willow. So I can see here that there will be some sort of sorrow, and it has to do with your family. So maybe you are going through a really tough time with a family member or your whole family in general, or if you're estranged, this is something that can just continuously resurface, especially when there are big successes in your life, amazing things that you're celebrating, and you wish your family would celebrate with you or would be happy for you or would be there, period. I do want you to know here in the weeping willow that this family sorrow comes from a place of this success being something that you wish you could share more intimately. So it's not all bad. Next up, we have the tiger. So I just wanted to say with the weeping willow as well as the ant that it's not all bad, and at the same time, you know, a lot of people would give up their family in a heartbeat to go through the success that you're going to be able to go through. So remind yourself that nobody's life and nobody's world is perfect, and we all have some areas of tension. I do see here in the Tiger that you may think of taking a chance and just bringing it up, just being very vocal about how you feel. Like we spoke about in the Canary, speaking up is something that you will be doing more and more, and this is getting out of your comfort zone in a way that maybe you didn't think you would do so soon. But I do see here in the Tiger that from that initial success of speaking up professionally and seeing how that can actually serve you and serve everybody around you, you may try to bring that into your personal life, whether it be with a romantic interest or friends and family, and say how you really feel and what you've really been going through, and just to allow your voice that is strong, determined, but still respectful to speak volumes and change things for the better. Now, group number 4, this is the reading that I received for you on all of the things that you need to hear, that you need to know right now. I really hope that they resonated for you and that you found them insightful. Leave a little tiger emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know that this is the group that you ended up choosing. Thank you so much for spending this divine time with me. I am so grateful to be here with you, and I'll see you in another one of my videos. Hello, group number 5, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the red Jasper, group number 5. So let's do a quick close-up of your stone. This is what it looks like. It's absolutely beautiful. So let's get into your reading, shall we? So the bird that you felt drawn towards was the cardinal. So one thing that I can see here in the cardinal is all about you standing tall and standing proud. I can see that one thing that you must hear right now, group number 5, is to see the leadership role that's unfolding ahead of you. See where you can be the leader and where you can tell others exactly what to do without feeling bad or feeling bossy. So we have a feather as well as a bicycle that showed up for you. So I can definitely see here in the feather that there is a little bit of mental anxiety that comes with you moving into this other space when it comes to being a leader. So maybe right now you're more of a follower, you're more of somebody who just goes with the flow. So being a leader may be something that makes you think like, not me, if you know what I mean. Next, in the butterfly, I can see that this is a change for the better for you, group number 5. This is not something negative. This is something that you're being called to appreciate. A lot of people wish that they were good leaders. So for you to have this within you and naturally at this moment in time is really a blessing and something that you're being called to move towards. So did we all just catch how that card just popped right out of the pile? I mean, it undoubtedly wants to speak. We have the grapes. So group number 5, in the grapes, I can see here that it's time for you to go out and have fun, especially if you're allowed to now, if restrictions have just recently been kind of like softened a little bit where you live. Go out, have fun. Of course, do so safely. But that doesn't mean that you can't have fun. Just because you're not doing something wild or crazy, that doesn't mean that it can't be an amazing time and just overall make you feel like you don't have any worries in the world. Next up, we have spending time with friends. So you are definitely being called to spend more time physically with friends. So get off of your phone, no messaging, okay? Spend that actual quality, spend that actual one-on-one time with your friends. I do see here in spend time with friends in conjunction to the grapes that some of your friendships have been dry, and it's so necessary for you to rehydrate those friendships. I do see here in pleasure, group number 5, that you're also being called to partake in having some pleasure by yourself if you need to, and taking charge of your own pleasure. This goes especially if you're in a romantic relationship relationship where maybe you felt a little bit shy about your body or expressing what you really, really want, or just some things that you've been fantasizing about, but you've always been a little shy to express them, I want you to know here in pleasure that you're definitely overthinking it. I see that in conjunction to the feather and the cardinal, and just taking charge is something that who you're with is actually really going to enjoy. Like the person who you're considering having this like pleasurable romantic time with, that person is absolutely going to love you just expressing what you want and how you feel. And for all of my singles, you know that there are some things that you wanted to try. Like, who's watching? Okay, it's just you, and you, and there's nothing to be embarrassed about. Explore your body, because having the privacy to do so when you're single is really a blessing, and is something that a lot of people, a lot of us who have been in relationships for a long time, in marriages for a long time, wish that we sometimes had more of. So do know that, like, literally the grass is always greener, so make sure that you water your own grass and take care of it so your grass looks green as well as the grass on the other side. Let's move a little further into your reading with more charms. Okay, so we have the sun as well as a bird. So I can definitely see here in the sun and the bird in conjunction to the cardinal and the rest of your reading, group number 5, that this is going to give you a lot of joy. This is going to open up a new era of your life that feels really authentic, pure, and fun the more you move into your leadership role. So stand tall and stand proud, and don't be afraid to sometimes also delegate and give other people orders. That doesn't make you like a dictator or a terrible human being. Sometimes you need to give other people direction, and a lot of people like that. A lot of people want that. People want that from you right now, group number 5. Next up, we have the clear quartz. So in the clear quartz, I can see here that it's going to become really clear to you. This is something that you're maybe kind of doubting right now. You're kind of wondering, well, why would anybody want me to boss them around or tell them what to do? Don't see it as a negative. Being assertive and telling people what you expect of them or what you would like to do in conjunction to your relationship to them, whether this is a professional relationship or a romantic one. I do want you to know here in the clear quartz that just being clear, crystal clear, okay, being very honest and upfront is something that so many people appreciate and respect, whether they agree with you or not. One thing that a lot of people usually respect is when you're honest and when they know where they stand with you. So never feel bad for that. Next, we have the lepidolite. So in the lepidolite, I do see that some of your dreams are going to have a significance, and I see in conjunction to the bicycle and the feather that the dreams that you're going to have in the next days and weeks are going to indicate where you're thinking of going next geographically. So this could be, for example, traveling. This could be, for example, moving to a new place. I see in conjunction to the butterfly, this is all kind of like foreshadowing of an amazing move, of an amazing change in your life. I can see here in the garnet that group number 5, ignite your passion. Like, it couldn't be more clear. We have pleasure in your reading. We have you choosing the red jasper. We have the garnet that's all about passion, the cardinal that's all about like standing tall, standing proud. Express yourself, group number 5. Stop being afraid to be that passionate, hot, sensual person that you know slumbers within you, and stop comparing yourself. Stop feeling as though there is a certain look to who is sensual and who is attractive and who isn't. It's all about how you carry yourself. It's all about what type of energy that you put out there, and also how you communicate. Communication is so much of passion. Communication is so much of feeling alive and feeling as though you're in a really thrilling, fun, and amazing place with another human being, spiritually, emotionally or physically. So ignite your passion, reignite it if you feel like it's been lost in one of your relationships. And in conjunction to the pleasure card, not to be too TMI, but pleasure is something that doesn't always need to involve like a partner. And even if you do have a partner, like sometimes it can also be really nice to both like separately be, you know, engaging in this card and just like connecting energetically, just looking at one another, just seeing one another enjoy like your own touch and sharing like an intimate moment in that way. So I don't know if you understood what I meant. I just don't want to be too explicit here on my channel, group number 5, but I think you know exactly what I mean. Next up, we have the Page of Diamonds. So I do see here in the Page of Diamonds that you will have some discussions and thoughts with those friends that you see physically again about potentially starting like a business together, some sort of professional venture. That is one thing that I see in the Page of Diamonds in conjunction to spending time with friends and, you know, going out and having fun. So this is definitely something you always want to be cautiously optimistic about, because often friendships or family and business doesn't mesh very well or for very long, but it's definitely worth a thought. I can see here in the 9 of Swords that there is a part of you that is kind of like delaying going to bed. So maybe you want to go to bed at night at a good time, but then you notice how like, okay, it's 8, 9, 10 o'clock and you're dancing around going to bed, and it could be because you're trying to avoid something. You're trying to avoid the stillness. You're trying to avoid maybe nightmares if you've been having reoccurring nightmares, and that's just kind of like keeping you away from properly resting. So I do want you to know here in the 9 of Swords that if that's something that you resonate with, if you've been avoiding alone time with yourself, you know, get yourself a journal, write down why you feel that way. And I know I say journaling a lot, well, not so much in the recent videos, but like a few months ago I talked about this a lot, and I can't stress this enough. Really the hardest part of journaling is just getting a journal and a pen, especially if you don't have one. Once you get into the flow of it, and once you have like a designated journal for all of your ugly thoughts, for everything that you wished you could just scream out and shout aloud, but you were never able to, and you start to just release, it is like the easiest thing in the world, and you will love it. You will take so much pleasure in it, because this is your safe space. This is a space where nobody can judge you, where nobody can tell you how to feel, what to say, what to do, and you're going to learn to really appreciate that, and you're going to see that as an outlet. And it's no longer going to be like, oh, now I have the chore of journaling. It's like, yes, I get to journal and I get to say all of the petty little things and let out all of my emotions and just really jot down how I truly feel, rather than avoiding or feeling like my thoughts aren't valid. Next up, we have the 5 of Coins. So I do see here in the 5 of Coins that it's probably best for you right now to save. It's probably best for you right now to not invest financially in anything big, in anything super life-changing. So if you're thinking of, for example, real estate or a new vehicle, just overall, you know, a big life investment like that, hold off. This is not the best deal that you have before you right now, as I do see here in the Ace of Coins reversed, that you need a little bit more time to really strike gold and for that like amazing deal to come into your life, and that really great opportunity to be presented to you, group number 5. So right now, don't put any large sums of money down. Don't commit to anything big. Don't start a new business right now. It's better for you to focus on growing into your natural leadership role, as well as reigniting the passion in your life, group number 5. So group number 5, leave a flame emoji down below in the comment section if you are determined and destined to ignite your passion, and just to let me and everyone else know that this is the group that you ended up choosing and it resonated with you. Now, group number 5, thank you so much for being a part of this sacred space. I am so grateful to have been able to spend this time with you. If you are completely new to my channel, do not forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss another reading, because we clearly vibe with one another, so that's like a win-win situation. So group number 5, know that I'm sending you so much love, I'm thinking of you, and I'll catch you in another one of my videos.